Hello, my name is John Kowalski, and I am the Director of Recruitment Intelligence for ARC Group. I would like to welcome you to our training, and I am going to pull up this PowerPoint and get the ball rolling on this. So this is a training specifically designed for customer service and sales representative, although a lot of the principles can be applied to any people business. So there's millions of people businesses out there, but specifically, who is this training for? Entry level to senior level sales, sales management, consultants, trainers, business owners, appointment setters, high ticket closers, customer service reps, managers, and entrepreneurs. So pretty broad, but anybody in the business of sales or customer service is who this training is geared for. Who am I? As I mentioned, I am the Director of Recruitment Intelligence over at ARC Group. ARC Group, or American Recruiting and Consulting Group, is a nationally ranked top 20 recruiting firm that I've worked with for 7 years, and I lead their division called Recruitment Intelligence, which is an on-demand recruiting service. And then I also like to mention that I am a University of Miami graduate, just because, it's all about the U. Any chance to mention University of Miami, I'll take that opportunity. But most importantly, do I have fruit on the tree? It's the old analogy that if you want to grow an apple orchard, then you should learn from somebody who has already grown an apple orchard. Let them coach you, mentor you if they're willing to, and learn from their mistakes, learn from their victories, and kind of avoid all the pitfalls that they ran into, right? It's the idea that you want a coach to be able to coach and improve you, and it's the idea like the minefield analogy. What is the best way to go through a minefield? Behind somebody else, right? Because you want to know where all the landmines are coming up in whatever you're endeavoring to do. So me, I've been in business development and sales training for 15 years. I've produced millions in sales, and I've trained, interviewed, and managed teams of 30 or more people. So I do have a lot of experience in what I'm about to train you on in terms of what makes a salesperson successful, what makes a customer service person successful, and what helps them to properly guide customers and clients to a particular funnel, to a particular end, right? So 8 things you will learn in this training. You will learn the 458 system to sales and customer service. You'll learn the Ford system to breaking the ice and building rapport. You'll learn how to consult with anyone based on their spirit animal. You'll learn 5 things that every rep needs to know to be successful. You'll learn how to rebuttal any objections, tips on negotiating, buying signs, and then closing strategies. Let's jump right into it. The 458 system, or 4 5s and 8s, as they are so lovingly called by some people. So the 458 system is 4 impulse factors, 5 steps to a conversation, and 8 great work habits. So 4 impulse factors. First one, you got Jones effect. So Jones effect is the idea that everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses. Everybody wants what everybody else has. There's multiple ways to use this. You might do it by the industry. You might do it by a particular business. You might do it by a particular business type. Or even if you're doing business to business sales, you might say, oh, we're contacting businesses in the Miami area today. So there's a lot of ways that you can use Jones effect, but it's the simple idea that everybody wants what everybody else has. It's the reason that referrals are so effective, because referrals and reviews online are a type of Jones effect, right? Second impulse factor that we use to close customers, drive sales, drive customer service processes is indifference. This is all about being a consultant, not a salesperson. It's the adage that you can't push a rope, right? You can't get something closer to you by pushing it. So indifference is all about being indifferent toward the sale, not indifferent toward the customer. And it's about not only your body language, not being imposing, just kind of being laid back, being indifferent in the process, but also in the words that you use. So saying, it's no big deal, it's up to you. A lot of times I use it's up to you, which is a very indifferent closing statement, but a very effective indifferent closing statement. So that's the concept of indifference. Next is fear of loss. Fear of loss is the idea that they're going to miss out on something not doing it today. Maybe it's a promotion. Again, maybe it's B2B sales and you're only in the area today, but most often it's used as a promotion. Hey, we can take $100 off the price today. We can take 10% off the price if you order in the next hour. So that's the concept of fear of loss. And then sense of urgency, again, not only in your actions, your customers, your clients, they want to kind of see you interacting quickly, typing quickly, going through whatever processes you need to quickly so that you're honoring their time. But it's also in the words that you use, saying this is real quick, very simple, saying words like quick question when you go into your deeper questions can be very valuable, very effective, because nobody wants a long drawn out process. They want it to be quick, simple, painless, and be able to move on with their day. The way to remember this is GIFs: Jones effect, indifference, fear of loss, sense of urgency. If you've ever watched QVC, they are the masters at this. QVC is a home selling program, Jones effect. They have people calling in all day saying, oh, I just got this necklace for my daughter and she loves it so much. It's so amazing. Okay, indifference. The indifference with QVC is when they say, okay, well, we have this necklace right now, but in 5 minutes, if you don't like this, we'll have a ring set that's going to be amazing that you're going to love. So they're not stuck on one product, stuck on one sale. They're ready to move on to the next product. Fear of loss. They show you a little timer that says, oh, you only have 4.5 minutes left, and there's only 30 left of the necklaces, so you really got to jump on it or you're going to miss out on this opportunity. And again, then the sense of urgency is that clock ticking down and knowing that they're either going to run out of inventory or run out of time, and it's going to be something very quickly that you can get taken care of. So that is the 458 system and how QVC uses it expertly. 5 steps to a conversation. So there are 5 steps to any conversation. It follows a climactic arch. There is the intro, the short story, the presentation, the close, which is the climax, and then the rehash, which is the resolving action. If you're into drama and climactic rising action, that is the equivalent. So let's go through it. So the introduction is very tricky. It's hi, my name is John with XYZ company, right? That's the introduction. In your introduction, you want to use your C factors. What is C factors? C factors is your smile, your eye contact, and your enthusiasm. Why do you want to use that? Because people want to talk to people who are happy. People want to talk to people who they can trust, and people want to talk to people who are excited and enthusiastic about what they're doing, what they're representing, right? So we always want to be using C factors anytime we're talking to a customer, client, prospect. Breaking the ice. Very important. The following steps in terms of the short story, the presentation, the close, every step becomes easier if you properly break the ice, and we'll go into a little bit more detail on how to do that in a minute. Then the short story. So that is why you're there today, right now, why you're calling them right now. Whole purpose of the short story is to reduce skepticism and qualify the customer with deeper questions. So the deeper questions might be, are you the person who handles all that fun stuff? Are you currently using XYZ type of service, right? So the whole idea is we're qualifying the customer. The short story, we're telling them, hi, I'm here with XYZ company and I'm going to help you with ABC. Are you the person who handles all that fun stuff? Whether they are or not, we want to get to that person. And then again, repeat the intro short story once we get to whoever the decision maker is, who actually handles the fun stuff. And then we go right into our, our spiel. Great, that's exactly why I'm here. Essentially, whatever they're saying, you want to drive the conversation, say, great, that's exactly why I'm here. I'm here to help you with that and, explain exactly what our service can do. That leads right into the presentation where you're going to want to hit hot spots to solve their problem that you discovered in the short story. So common hotspots might be less expensive, better quality, more convenient. Maybe it's a novel solution that they've never heard of before. So you want to give them an idea of where they're at now and a snapshot of where they're at now and where they're going to be after they either, progress with the sales process, or maybe it's a customer service call where you're trying to get them to, increase their usage, whatever result that you're going for, you want to give them a picture of the before and after. And then, if it is a sale or if it is a rehash where you're, more of a customer service call, you want to pitch high and watch them buy. Next, you're going for the close. This is where we take control of the conversation and drive and create the result that, that we initiated this conversation for. And you want to go for the close once you observe buying signs. I'll go into a little bit more what buying signs are a little later in this training, and use impulse factors and rebuttals in order to get to that close. And then the rehash is where you rehash the customer on either different products, additional offerings that you might have, or even where you can get referrals and say, is there anybody that you know that I should know that would also be interested in this service? That is one of the most powerful phrases. It's actually from Prospecting Power. If you say, who do you know that I should know that would also benefit from my services? Very powerful. Always ask for referrals. So that is the 5 steps to a conversation. Lightning round on the 8 great work habits. 8 great work habits are: take control, recognize opportunity, respect customer and offering, systematically play a law of averages, work a full day, be on time, be prepared, and have and maintain a positive attitude. So first, we got take control. There are 3 ways that we take control of customers and clients. First, we give directions. Oh, just go grab your bill real quick. You get back to what you're doing. I'm going to pull up this presentation. Whatever direction you're giving, that's going to take control of the conversation, right? Second thing, deeper question. When you say, are you the person who handles all that fun stuff? You're in control and driving that conversation. It's on them to respond and them responding to you, right? And we want to be careful about any of our customers or clients taking control of the conversation by deeper questioning us too much and getting us off the path of what our, prescribed conversation is. And then the third thing is proactive language. So proactive language is essentially killing any words that are weak, that give people the opportunity to say no and kind of encourage them to, hey, do you want to, if you think you can do this today, if you have a few minutes. That's getting no's all day. That's getting hangups on the phone. That's getting, walkouts of the business. So proactive language is saying, this is what we will do today. It's eliminating those doubt words and using powerful language that doesn't allow for a no. It's much stronger language and much more effective language in any customer service or sales process. Recognize the opportunity. It's the old adage from Think and Grow Rich. And if you guys know about about the gold prospecting in the 19th century. There were prospectors that hit a vein of gold, would run out of that vein, and then would sell their mine. And the funny thing is about geology is that a shift in that line can be just 3 feet away. So it's the adage that, and there were a lot of people that would buy those mines, dig 3 feet over from where they were digging previously, and found a whole other gold chute. And there's a lot of millionaires made by not giving up, being persistent, recognizing their opportunity, and recognizing that at any time they can be 3 feet from gold. Next, respect your customer and your offering. Represent your product, your service, whatever it is, represent it like you're talking to your grandmother. If you're not going to sell it to your grandmother, if you're not going to represent it to your grandmother, if she's a business owner, if you're selling to businesses, or if she's, just a standard customer that you're selling to personally, you want to do right by your customer. You want to respect the offering that your company has put together. And so always being truthful. An extra sale or an extra client or customer service metric, it's not worth doing the wrong thing, and it's definitely not worth losing your job or messing up your career over. So, multiple reasons why it's you always got to do right by your customer and the company that you're representing. Fourth, systematically play the law of averages. Pretty simple. More equals more. If I flip a coin twice and I want heads, there's a good chance that if I only flip that coin twice, that I get 2 tails. But if I flip that coin 100 times, more than likely I'm going to get about 50 heads. So it's the idea that I'm going to get more of the desired result the more that I do something. So the more phone calls that I make, the more businesses I pitch, the more customers I try to upsell in their service, or whatever I'm doing in terms of customer service and sales, the more desired results I'm going to get, the more opportunities that I have to talk to those potential customers. 5, work a full day. I can't tell you how many times I've, worked a full day, worked that last hour or 90 minutes of the day, and that's where everything comes together. I get that candidate scheduled or hired for that position. I get that client closed on that, on that new service. So never underestimate what can be accomplished in working a full day and really building momentum for that next day. Always want to be on time. That kind of goes hand in hand with working a full day, but it's also a respect thing to show up on time. Nobody likes to be waiting for anybody. It's that old adage that, 5 minutes early is on time is late, and 5 minutes late is unacceptable, right? So we always want to be a few minutes late. I always struggled with that. I was always the guy that like, oh, let me get in there. If I need to be at 8, I can get in there right at 7:59. And I've lived both ways. It's very stressful to live that way. So definitely want to be on time. Always want to be prepared. Have a clean workspace, be organized, know what your daily projections are, have an organized process laid out for tracking, or if you're following up from customers from previous days of business development or customer service. Always make sure that you're prepared for that next day, that you're going into that next day organized with a clean head. And then finally, have and maintain a positive attitude. Your attitude in customer service and sales is your most valuable asset. This training will be great for you. Whatever college degree you went and got, that's amazing. Whatever experience you have for the last 10, 15, 30 years in doing sales or customer service, that's all going to be helpful, very, very helpful. But the most important, valuable asset you have is your attitude. So you want to maintain that, protect that, and keep that strong. All right, moving on. So that's the 458 system. Now we're moving on to the Ford system of breaking ice and building rapport. So the Ford's system is different categories we can use to break the ice, start a conversation. a lot of times, it's just being observational or being aware in a conversation that a lot of these things come to mind as you're talking to somebody. But these are a really good way to kind of prime your mind on what you can talk about if you don't know what to break the ice on. So family, occupation, recreation, dreams, sports, and school. Either what school they went to or what school their kids are going to. Other good areas include giving them compliments. I tend to avoid the compliments just because I sound sarcastic typically when I give compliments to people. I sound, oh, wow, what a great dress you have on. Like, what are you? So only give compliments if you are good at giving genuine compliments. Do not compliment people just to compliment them. That is awkward. That builds skepticism, that draws you away from your customer instead of drawing closer. That being said, I know, reps, customer service agents, different people that I've trained that literally all they do is give compliments all day. They're just that bubbly type of personality, that amiable type of personality, that it's very natural for them to give genuine compliments to people all day long. If that's you, that's wonderful. Use it. That's not me. I stick to Fords or movies, music, weather. Things that are not going to offend anybody, or they shouldn't. Really. And then the things to avoid should be obvious: politics, religion, sex, sexual orientation, identification. It's the opposite of the good areas, right? Because these are things that can, again, draw you away from your customer, draw division, and there's no reason to get into any of these topics unless I had a customer the other day. He was a Hasidic Jew. I'm Jewish. I'm not Hasidic, but we were able to build some rapport we were talking about mezuzahs, and I was about to go to Israel and all these things. So if it's a connection with your customer or client particularly, there are exceptions to the avoid, but generally avoid those things. Keep it safe. Don't be offending people out there. It's not worth it. All right. So that brings us to how to consult with anyone based on your spirit animal. So the 4 spirit animals are bull, owl, lion, and tiger. So I am a bull, not in a tea shop, but I am a bull personality, which means that I like to be in control and I hate wasting time, which is why I hate Florida traffic very, very much, but it's okay. I'll survive. But if someone was going to try to sell me something or upgrade me on one of my services that I already have as a customer service agent, their best impulse to use on me would be indifference. Don't try to fear or loss me. Don't try to rush me. Maybe Jones effect I'll be interested in Jones effect, but my core, be indifferent with me. If you're indifferent with me, if I don't get any commission breath, any salesperson with commission breath or customer service agent that calls me with commission breath, immediate hang up, immediate close door, have a great one. I wish you the best. I'll pray for you, but I'm not buying whatever you're selling because you're trying to take away my control and you're trying to potentially waste my time. And that doesn't fly for me. So that's the bull personality. Next, we got the owl personality. This is an analytical person. They're going to ask lots of questions. Get it? So best impulse factor for this type of personality is fear of loss. They could question you to death. They could interrogate you for 30 hours on something that is the most simple product or service offering in the universe. So while you do, you don't want to get frazzled by the questions that they're asking. Always maintain that indifference, but fear of loss is really what's going to put the brass tacks to them and say, okay, well, I can answer these questions forever, but realistically, you're going to miss out on this discount if we don't do this today, right now, right? Next, we got lion. So a lion is a steady relator. If you guys don't know personality theory, steady relator is somebody that looks all around and constantly compares themselves to others in order to establish where they are in life. By the way, side note, comparisons can be the seeds of your destruction. So if you are a steady relator, be careful with that and be gentle with yourself and be forgiving of your faults. But, and yeah, run your own race. You know, it's like that idea in a horse race. The horses have their blinders on the side. They're not looking at the other horses. They're just running their race. That's just a side note, because I relate to my steady relators and their pain a little bit. But whole point, obviously, best impulse factor to use when you notice that somebody is a steady relator is Jones effect. Makes sense. Next, we got a tiger. This is the amiable personality. They might be kind of flighty. They might be bouncing around in different topics, but amiable means they're very friendly. They're people persons, right? Best thing to use with best impulse factor for this type of personality is going to be a sense of urgency, because again, they can be kind of flighty. So making something very quick and streamlined and okay, now we're done. And oh, I just need your signature here, or I just need, okay, just do your verification. Yes, yes. Buenas. All right, we're done. That's going to be the best way to take control and impulse that type of personality. So to conclude on this bolt theory concept, all of us have a little bit of these personalities in us. And that's why, as a salesperson or customer service representative, we really want to be hitting all 4 impulse factors all the time throughout our conversations that we're having with people. But that being said, if we do recognize that somebody, oh, he's definitely a bull, oh, they're definitely an owl, or they're definitely a tiger, they're definitely a lion, we want to know, okay, well, since they're a bull, I'm going to be super indifferent and laid back. Oh, since they're an owl, I got a fear of loss them if I'm going to take control of this conversation. So knowing these, what can specifically work best once you do identify the personality, this can be the most effective way to approach things. Next, we got 5 things every rep needs to be successful. So for someone to work with you, whether you're a customer service representative or sales representative, 5 things need to happen. They need to know you, which seems obvious, but they do. They need to know you somehow. Either you walking into their business, you calling them, then you introducing yourself as a customer service rep for one of your companies. They need to know you. They need to like you. They need to trust you. They need to think you can help them, because they can know, like, and trust you, but if they don't see how their product, your product or service can benefit them, or they don't see how answering a survey is going to benefit them or help them, they're not going to do it. They're not going to take their time to have the conversation. And then the last thing is, as a sales or customer service representative, all right, you need to let them know that the obstacles that they need to overcome in order to make a change, in order to upgrade their service or buy a new service or product from you, whether you're sales or customer service, they need to know that those obstacles are worth their while of overcoming in order to get that new product or service. They need to know that the pain of the same is worse than the pain of change. There's a parable about a man and his dog sitting on a patio, and a woman walks down the street and hears this horrible howling from the dog. Oh, that's my dog impression. Anyways, making these horrible howls. The woman says, why is he howling like that? What's wrong? What's wrong? Why is he doing that? Man on the patio, the owner says, well, he's sitting on a nail that's stuck up on the wood of the patio. The woman looks all confused and says, well, why doesn't he move? And the owner says, well, it just doesn't hurt enough. So it's the idea that if you didn't hit your customers' pain points, hit their hot spots well enough and build enough value in your product or service, there's not going to be any reason for them to make a change, right? And it's the same thing with the dog that's howling. You can tell the dog's unhappy and uncomfortable, but he's not uncomfortable enough to get up and change and move. And that parable also applies to sales or customer service reps. You know, we all want more sales, we all want more customers, we all want more upgraded accounts. But what are you doing to change your daily processes, or what you're saying to customers, or seeking out coaching and mentorship? What are you doing to change your current state? And if you're not doing anything, then you're just like the dog on the patio, howling for change and not doing anything about it. Next, rebuttals for any objection. Hopefully you're still with me. I'm going to try to stick this to about a 30-minute landing on this training. We'll see if I'm too overly verbose like I tend to be, but hopefully you're enjoying it so far, and this is adding a lot of value to you, your teams, and your customers that you're going to be able to help with this, with this training. So, rebuttals for any objections. First, we got the 3 T's. 3 T's are a great transitional phrase to deal with almost any objection. The 3 T's are: that's the best part, that's exactly why I'm here today, or that's exactly why I'm calling today if you're on the phones. And then that is why everyone is working with us, switching their service. Again, the operative phrase there is, that's why everyone is doing this with me today, right? So any objection: oh, the price is too much. Oh, well, actually, that's the best part. I have a discount today that can take $100 off our price. Oh, I don't have any time, I'm super busy. Well, that's exactly why I'm calling today, so that I can handle this very quickly for you. It's actually very simple. Oh, I used a company with similar service in the past and it was terrible. Well, that's why everyone is actually working with us. A lot of my customers have had bad experiences in the past, but what they've been able to find is we have very effective service. I have case studies that I can, show you how effective this service has been. And that's exactly why everyone is utilizing or switching their service to ours. 3 T's, transitional phrases, rock and roll. 3 R's, repeat, reassure, resume. So similar thing. Oh, it costs too much. I understand that you think that it costs too much. I will say, though, the benefits that we've seen and the benefits that we've discussed, I've definitely seen this be very effective for all of my customers. And then resume wherever you left off in your pitch, presentation, closing, or rehash process. This is very, very important. Don't get thrown off by whatever your customer or potential customer threw at you. You always want to resume wherever you left off in the pitch. So if you were at the beginning of your pitch and you were just finishing your short story, start back over with the short story. So like I was saying, I'm with XYZ company, we're going to help you do this. If the objection came up during the presentation, repeat the objection, reassure them on the issue, and again, resume wherever you left off in the pitch. Too often, customer service and sales representatives will get thrown off by an objection, where then they try to skip ahead to the end and then and essentially close the business, ignore what the climactic curve is of the 5 steps to a conversation, and say, okay, so we're just going to sign you up, or I'm going to get a fee agreement over and we can get the ball rolling. That is not going to be that successful for most people, unless you're super charismatic and you can just kind of swagger through any business development and customer service situation. Most people are going to be most successful if they just pick up and resume wherever they left off from that objection. Resume wherever you left off in your pitch. It's very, very important and good thing to keep in mind. Next, we got the 3 F's: feel, felt, and found. So I completely understand how you feel about having a similar or about being too busy to handle this right now. I'm acknowledging the objection. I'm using the word feel. Some of my customers, they felt the same way, but actually what they found, so with the felt, I'm using a little Jones effect, but what they found is that this is something that we can handle in 3 minutes. It's not going to deter you from anything else you had planned today. So it's very simple. No big deal. Indifference, Jones effect, sense of urgency, hit 3 of my impulse factors just about every time when I do a feel, felt, found. I completely understand how you feel. XYZ felt the same way, but here's what we found. Give a resolution, resolve that objection. And last, acknowledge, ignore, resume. This is kind of a funny one because you're like, wait, so you just ignore the, you deal with the rebuttal by just ignoring it? Yep. So same thing. I understand it. I can see that you're very busy. It's going to be, or I can hear that you're very busy. If you're on the phones, you can, see and hear that you're very busy. But what we're going to do today is very simple. We're just going to open up your account. We're just going to increase your Uverse speed like Uverse did with me the other day. That upgraded my, the customer service got me. Again, I'm a sucker. Any good salesperson is a sucker for a good salesperson or customer service rep. Like they don't want to buy, but the guy was really good. He broke the ice. He followed good objections. Anyways, so using the AT&T guy as an example, a lot of my objections he just ignored. He was like, I definitely hear that you don't want to spend more money on your internet, but what we're doing is very simple. I'm just going to send you this fee agreement that says that we're going to upgrade your speed today. He literally didn't, but it was like, yeah, I guess that does sound nice. For $5, I like this guy. I'll upgrade the speed, and that also goes to a thing of, remember, whatever you're selling or customer servicing or whatever you're doing, people buy from people. People buy from like people they know, like, and trust, but the service or the product that you're representing is secondary to people buying from you, right? So just little nugget, always keep that in mind. Fun stuff. We are chugging right along onto tips of negotiation. So I got, looks like 8 tips to negotiation is what I got here. So first, master the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you don't know that book, y'all gotta get that book. It's very close. As close to me as the Bible, because it is. You talk to millionaires and they'll tell you to read this book. If you have millionaire friends, it doesn't matter the industry, they all say read this book. They don't say only read this book, as I say in my notes, master this book. Because if you have read this book, it will tell you you need to read this book multiple times, and you truly need to read it at least every year, and you really need to master the principles in the book. Don't just read it and absorb it once, live it. Master the book. Next, in your negotiation, you always want to determine another person's needs. Remember that compromise is key. Remember that time kills all deals. So if you've agreed to terms verbally, get a fee agreement executed. Get a verification call done. Get it done quickly. Have that sense of urgency, because time kills all deals. Like this one, never sit down at a negotiation table that you're not willing to walk away from. Right? You're not in a strong negotiation position if before you go to negotiate, you're thinking like, okay, well, whatever they say, I'm actually going to buy. I'm just trying to get the best price, but realistically, I'm not going to be able to walk away from this negotiation table, right? And it's the same thing as the salesperson, as the customer service representative. We always want to have that level of indifference that we can always walk away from any negotiation. A single customer or client does not alter what our opportunity is, right? So always be willing to walk away from a negotiation. Don't always initiate the first price. Talk about the value that you provide. A lot of times we just want to talk about the negatives of whatever they're doing currently, or whatever the current status is. Talk about the value that you're going to bring more than the negatives of somebody else or what's going on currently. And then last, number 8, the first objection you get is usually artificial. So what you want to do is you want to use your deeper questions, question the customer, and usually you can get to what the true objection is. A lot of times people answer the phone, oh, I'm too busy. Well, you weren't too busy to answer the phone. If this was your, your Aunt Carol, you would have been talking to Aunt Carol right now. So, I mean, how busy are you? I mean, I wouldn't say that, but understand that right there, they say, oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I completely understand that you're too busy. This is actually very quick. I'm calling from XYZ company to help you with this today. Are you the person who handles all that fun stuff? Right? Or a deeper question, if they say, no, really, I'm too busy. I completely understand that you're too busy. Is it better for us to schedule a call for later today or tomorrow? Right? That's a deeper question. And what I'm actually doing is I'm illuminating past what the artificial objection is. I'm trying to get to what the genuine objection is, because sometimes people are genuinely busy and they'll say, yeah, that's perfect. 9 a.m. tomorrow. That'll be a great time for you to call me back. Or they might say, no, don't come back later today or tomorrow, or don't call me back because I'm actually really not interested. Okay, well, that's another first objection now. That might be artificial too. Okay, well, what are you not interested in? Are you not interested in saving money or making more money? Because that's what every business actually does. So again, they might say, oh, I'm just not interested. That's like the vaguest, most artificial objection in the universe. You want a deeper question to find out what the true objection is. Moving right on. Chugging along, we got buying signs. 3 types of buying signs: positive, negative, and nonverbal. Positive buying sign might be that they're being agreeable, they're asking you questions about the offer, they're speaking positively about you, your company, your product, your service. Wow, that's amazing that you guys can offer that at that price. Or okay, if they're asking you questions about, price or installation, all of these are buying signs. All of these are showing that there's a level of interest. If they're asking you about the price, well, how much would that cost? Those are buying signs. Those are good things. You are leading to a close if you use your impulse factors and objection rebuttals properly here. Next, you have the negative buying sign, which is, speaking negatively about the competitor. I definitely heard that a lot when I was selling for Comcast. They say, oh yeah, AT&T is terrible. I hate AT&T. Or when I was selling for AT&T, oh yeah, Comcast is terrible. I hate Comcast. They're like the 2 big fish. I sold for both at different times in my business to business career. So I heard both sides of the coin, why they both stink. Third, we have the nonverbal, which might be the silence. You finish your presentation and then the longest 3 seconds of silence in the world. Okay, yeah, I'll do that today. I'll buy that. And the thing to remember and maintain your level of indifference as a salesperson or customer service rep is to not jump over their thinking process, to finish your presentation and then a millisecond of silence and you're like, okay, so I'm gonna sign up and open your account today, or I'm gonna upgrade your account today. No, let me think about it, right? Because now you dropped your indifference, your impulse factor of indifference, and you're giving off that commission sales breath again, and people don't like that, right? So recognize silence as a non-verbal buying sign. Okay, I would say a beat, right? You let that silence be a beat, 3 to 5, sometimes 10 seconds. But if you're going past 10 seconds, at some point you may want to prod it along, take control of the conversation and say, so what we're going to do is very simple. We're going to upgrade your UVerse. We're going to, increase your account. We're going to open up your account and lock in this price. Whatever you're going to do today for them, you may want to prod them along with a closing statement, or even a soft close is also really good to transition from silence, right? So you get that, if you get 10 seconds and you're still like twiddling your thumbs, you're just like, okay, so yeah, so this is very simple, to kind of get the ball rolling on this. What's your legal business name? Or what's your business's email address? Most business owners, 95% of them will know, okay, he's signing me up, or he's upgrading me today. He's not directly saying, so are you going to buy this today right now? But if I'm getting that type of information, they've already clicked, okay, he's trying to open my account. He's trying to, get the information to be able to upgrade my account, or he's verifying, the email so that when I do upgrade my service, he can send that email verification like I got from UVerse the other day when they upgraded me to 500 megabytes. So silence, very powerful, worth taking a beat on and knowing the importance of it. Okay, nonverbal nodding. Mirroring your actions. So that could be physical, that could be in how they're talking, that could be in how they're sitting, right? If they're mirroring your actions, it's a buying sign. They are connecting with you, right? You want to draw closer you want to draw your client closer always, right? And so that also goes for you too. You want to be mirroring your customer from the moment that you start talking to them. So if they're high energy, you're high energy. If they're, maybe more conservative, you want to be a little bit more conservative and reserved and not as loud, and right? Because you want to connect with them, right? You want to match their level. You want to mirror your customers and your potential clients. Shoulder shrugs, another silent one. A raised eyebrow. That's, ooh, wow, I'm excited. I got raised eyebrows. Ooh, very cool. All right, so all of these are buying signs: positive, negative, nonverbal. All right, last but certainly not least, hopefully everybody is still awake. And if not, wakey, wakey, get up. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. Get out of bed. Breakfast time. Let's go. Learn some stuff. All right, closing strategies. So first and most simple closing strategy I love to use on my 6-year-old all day is either or option close. So it's the idea that either way, I'm closing you on something. So do you want fries with that? Do you want to supersize it? Right? Really, those are actually either or. Those are very simple either or, but essentially you're saying, do you want it just the sandwich, or do you want it with fries also? Do you want it the regular size, or do you want it the supersized? Right? So those are either or option closes. Either way, I'm closing, and it's just a question of how big the order size is going to be, right? And so I say I use that on my 6-year-old all day, every day, when the argument comes, for dessert, and it's like, okay, well, and brushing your teeth, right? It's like, okay, you can have dessert now, but then you need to brush your teeth, floss, and do mouthwash in 20 minutes. Are you going to do that, or are you not going to have a dessert tonight? Usually she decides to have a dessert, but yeah, bribery is the 5th impulse factor. You only use that with kids though. Next, we got act. So we assume the sale, we close with confidence, and we take control. Assume the sale, close with confidence, take control. That's the ACT acronym. Next, the yes train. So the yes train is where we're asking simple, deeper questions in order to get them on a yes, a progression of saying yes. That primes them to say yes to the pertinent question of them upgrading their service or whatever we're trying to do as customer services sales, gets them to say yes to the result that we want, right? So, you know, almost any business you can say, well, you do want to save money, right? Oh yeah, no, it'd be helpful, you know, if we could save money. And if you were able to save, you know, some more money, do you think you might be able to reinvest that in your business and you know, potentially generate even more revenue? Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. Okay, well, so that's exactly, you know, why we're here. One of the 3 T's. So that's exactly, you know, why I'm calling today, to help this get resolved. So you're ready to move forward, right? Whatever the next yes is, whatever, you know. Again, this will be a little bit tweaked for, you know, if I work with, you know, any of your teams directly on exactly what, you know, I guess how to formulate the yes train for your particular offer. But the concept is pretty simple. Get 2 to 3 yeses in a row, and then get them to, so you're ready. So what's your business, your legal business name? That's another good soft close. I love the soft closes. Hard close is, we're going to buy this today, right now. Soft close is asking a deeper question and gathering information, which is going to lead to a close, and the customer knows that, but it's much less intimidating than the hard close, right? So the yes train leads you very nicely into that soft close, and into that soft yes, and into that, yay, I've bought something, or yay, I've upgraded something that you're trying to accomplish in your sales or customer service process. Last, we have the 4-part close. And you'll notice a lot of these are kind of rephrasings or kind of thought processes on the same type of concept. So what have we done in our presentation? We did a now and then snapshot. What is now and then? Well, there's some type of present problem, and we are offering some type of present solution. Then we're going to close on that concept. And once we close on that concept, which is the 4th step of the conversation, we can rehash, because that's part of closing on the concept, and then changing the subject. Because once you have them closed, there might be some paperwork that you need to enter into your system, or whatever you need to do. All right, great. So here, let me get this typed up. I'm typing away. So, you said you had you said you had daughters. How old are your daughters? Right? I want to change this topic and get their mind now onto something else. I want them to take mental ownership of whatever I've just closed them on, whether it's a concept, whether it's a service, whether it's a product, whether it's a rehash, and I'm a customer service, increasing the current process. I want them to take mental ownership of whatever that concept is, and then I want to change the subject, because again, I'm building rapport, and it also just helps them to not go into owl mode of be like, well, who, what, where, why, when, and all these things. And no, I already closed you on the concept. Now we're talking about your daughters and the silly things they did at school yesterday. All right, next and last, we got some conclusion and some activities. And again, I didn't pay attention to my clock at all, so I hope this wasn't 3 hours long. I don't think it was. I guess we'll find out when I stop the clock here, when I stop the recording. But hopefully I stuck somewhere within the half-hour mark. I'm going to share a few activities that you can do either independently or with your team. So first activity, I want you to think of attributes of success and make a list. 15, 20 attributes of what makes somebody successful. Maybe they're organized, maybe they got a good education, maybe they're smart, maybe they're charismatic, maybe they're always on time, maybe they're always prepared, right? Whatever attributes of success that you can think of, do that first. And you can pause this real quick while you do that. And now that you've done that, go look at your list of attributes of success. Mark down whether it was a skill or whether it's an attitude, right? And what you'll, most of the time, 95% of the time, you'll find the vast majority of what it takes to make somebody successful is their attitude. Goes back to what I was saying earlier about have and maintain a positive attitude, you know? But it also goes to the idea of limiting beliefs. A lot of times we say, oh, I don't have this skill. I'm not as charismatic as this person. I don't have as much money. I didn't start, my family had no money. I didn't start with anything. Oh, this person has great education that I could never have, right? And, you know, we all have our own blessings, right? Some more than others, right? But we all start and work from, we all start and work from different places. But the bottom line is, wherever our kind of journey leads us, the most important thing to our success is different attitudes that we have. And this attributes of success exercise is a great way to illuminate that to ourselves, to our sales teams. So great concept to think about. There's also the concept of the law of the lid, where you take a flea, you put them in a little jar, and you know that flea's going to jump out of the jar. Okay, well, get back in there, flea. The flea goes in there, you screw on the lid, and he's gonna jump, he's gonna hit his head a couple times, but eventually he's going to only jump to the height of that lid, right? Then we take him out of there, we put him in a bigger jar, we screw the jar on, and again, at first he's going to jump to where the other lid was, but now he's going to realize, oh man, there's more room in this lid, I can jump higher, right? And then he's going to start to hit that other lid and realize, man, all right, I can't jump any higher than this lid. But if you took that lid off, he'd be able to jump out of it, right? A lot of times in our lives, in our expectations that we set for ourselves, and in our limiting beliefs, our own lids that we set in our minds, those are the biggest things that are holding us back. Us saying, oh, well, I couldn't, you know, I did X sales last month. There's no way I could do 2X or 4X sales the next month. That's a limiting belief. That's a false limiting belief, but it's based on the law of the lid. It's based on previous experience, which again doesn't necessarily determine future outcomes. And it's also it might be based on what people told you. Oh, you could never do that. That's too hard. You know, starting your own business or doing sales or doing whatever you want to do in life. There's always going to be people that say it's too hard and it can't be done. So something to think about with the law of the lid. Take that lid off. Get rid of the limiting beliefs in your life. There is so much more potential in you and your team and what you can accomplish than you give yourself credit for, right? And part of that is because the seeds of destruction are in comparison, but the other part of that is that we see our blooper reel and compare it to everyone else's highlight reel. We know every silly thing and silly mistake that we've ever done and every shortcoming that we've ever had, and then we look on Instagram and Facebook and we compare it to, oh wow, they just got that nice car, they bought their house, or they're in that nice trip. And okay, well, the same is true of those people on Instagram and Facebook. They have their own blooper reel and their own limiting beliefs and their own insecurities that they have to deal with, right? So let's try to be aware of that, you know, remove the lids and remove the limiting beliefs in our life so that we can, you know, really fully attain the level of success that the right attitude can attain. Next, I want to talk about the compound effect. That's the idea that would you rather have a penny that doubles every day for 30 days, or would you rather I give you $1 million today? Most people would be like, I don't want that penny. Give me that money. I want my million. And that's because a lot of our wiring is for short-term gratification. The fact of the matter is that if you let that penny double for 30 days, you're talking millions of dollars. So you made a horrible decision by not understanding the power of the compound effect. That is another great book that I would highly recommend. But in all of our sales process, customer service process, understand the importance of the compound effect, not only in applying this training that you learned today, but in also how you can grow in your career, how you can grow your sales, how you can grow your book of business, how you can improve your relationships in your, in your customer service, and I mean, and in life too. But understand that we all overestimate what we can do in 1 year, and we underestimate what we can do in 10 years. That's just human nature that we do that. We're, we can, like, we're kind of, geared, our mindsets are geared to be more short term, right? Where we say, oh, I'm going to accomplish all this stuff next year. And then if we don't accomplish all this stuff next year, then we get totally discouraged. We give up. We go back to our old ways. We're never going to fully benefit from the value of the compound effect doing that. Instead, we aim for something a year from now and we adjust. Aim for something for a year from now and adjust. And we have overarching goals for things that we want to accomplish 3, 5, and 10 years from now. But we don't beat ourselves up when it doesn't happen in a year, because we know the most important thing is being able to utilize the compound effect. And the true definition of success is being in the process of pursuing a worthy cause or mission. If you're in the process of pursuing a worthy cause or mission, you are successful, regardless of what your bank account is. I would encourage you to have really good relationships along with that, but regardless of anything else, that's what truly matters. And then to conclude, we have arrived. Like I said, I have no idea how long this took. I like to hear myself talk, apparently, but I'm hoping it was under a half hour so that it's pithy and direct and to the point. And we're gonna finish with this last 30 dreams exercise. So what I want you to do is I want you to make a list of 30 dreams, regardless of what they cost. Any dream you have. It might be a thing, it might be a vacation, it might be a lifestyle, it might be how you want to live. It might be, oh, I don't want to need to wake up until afternoon every day. Okay, well, you don't need to be a millionaire to that. You just need a job that works in the afternoons and evenings, right? So think of what those 30 dreams are. Once you do that, put a dollar amount next to each of them, how much it would cost. If it's not monetary, then it's not monetary. One of my biggest dreams is and intentions is successfully raising my family. There's no dollar amount that causes that, but that's definitely on on my list of dreams, right? So not all of them are going to be monetary. A lot of them will be. Then once you're done with that, add it all up. And whatever that is, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, if what you're currently doing in your sales, your customer service, career is not, or in your business, if you're a business owner, if what you're doing is not currently adding up to those dollars, then you have two options. You either need to reduce your dreams to match your income, or you need to increase your income in order to better match your dreams. Personally, I think the better option is to go with the latter, increase your income to better accomplish the dreams that you have for your life, right? And how do we do that? Well, in sales and customer service, it's applying a lot of the training, that we just went over today. So that concludes the training for now. I hope, that was helpful for everybody, whether they're a rep themselves, whether they're a business owner, entrepreneur, or consultant that's looking to train others. I hope that added a lot of value for you guys. If you do still need help in growing your team and having a team, having great candidates that can implement this training, again, I am the Director of Recruitment Intelligence, which is a division within ARC Group, and I'm happy to help you in any regard that you need with that. But that being said, I'm going to stop the share. You see my big face? I don't know if it's a pretty face, but it's a big face now. And yeah, I hope that added a lot of value for you guys. If you do need assistance with recruitment services, or even if you just want a consultation to kind of, discuss what your options are with that, I'm happy to chat anytime. I'll attach my Calendly so you can also schedule time to speak with me directly anytime. And I wish you all the best, and I look forward to hearing all the great results that businesses and reps are able to have from this training. Wish you all the best. Talk to you soon.